Prowl, why do I have a sinking feeling in my chest that something bad's about to happen?
I don't know. What is up, everybody? Nick Legostava here, and in this video I'm going to be unboxing, reviewing, and comparing Studio Series 86 Ironhide. Now, this figure is one a lot of people have been waiting for, an actual Ironhide in the main line that you can possibly go into the store and buy. Wow, what a concept. But it is a Voyager, so I will be talking about that in this video, and like I said, I have some other comparisons to compare this to, such as Seige, and a 3D printed figure that's a direct interpretation of the model. But you can see this box is really damaged. They have this ultra thin cardboard, freaking no window on the package. I hate that. I literally hate that. It's honestly just detestable and infuriating that we don't even have a window on a package for a Voyager. I might as well also take out the stand. I'll show that. It looks like the stand has some weird tape on it, and it is creased, so that's great as well. Get what you pay for, I guess, huh? Nope. So Clippers Club right here. I thought they were doing the paper ties now, the twine ties. These still look like plastic ties to me. So, yeah, hypocrisy, I guess. I could probably just slip that out without even clipping those. I probably could have taken the whole figure out just by manipulating those, but let's see. Oh, we got a little bag of twine for the two little accessories this Voyager figure comes with. You know, at least with the Studio Series Wave 1 Hot Rod that they made a Voyager, he at least came with a decent amount of accessories, and he had that not blast effect, but the piece for the matrix that was shining off of it. This, you literally just get two small pistols. So, alright, so here he is in his glory. Finally a mainline Ironhide that's pretty decent. Now, I remember when I initially saw pictures of this leaked online, I genuinely thought it was like some weird like KO or something. Like, it's just, its proportions looked a little odd to me, you know. They just looked a little odd, especially the head. Like the head of this one, let me whip out the Seige right now, since this is also going to be a comparison to that, and they just used the same mold for the Earthrise. They just changed a few things on it, but yeah, we can see that this is literally taller than this. This was a deluxe that was released for $20. This is a Voyager released for $33. Yeah, I mean, non-deluxes are $25 anyway, but oh boy. So yeah, there's that. And also these panels on the side pop off really easy, but that does, it's kind of nice that you can pop those off, because that definitely gives it a cleaner look than having the panel on the side there. I'll just pop that on there real quick anyway. But you can see the panels here, they're unpainted on the side there. I'm going to have to do a lot of custom paint work to this guy. I mean, I already have my work cut out for me. What's something that's really, that I hate automatically right out of the box right here, this blue top of the windshield is just unpainted. Again and again I say, hey, why do we have to have this clear plastic? I mean, the Buzzworthy line was amazing by doing that cliff jumper that had the blue plastic window. That was just straight up blue plastic, honestly. But from first glance here, it does look like they paint matched it decently. At least on my copy, it looks pretty good. That was something that I thought was going to be not very great, was the paint matching. But here he is with both his pistols. I don't think these came with this. I think those are from a different figure, these pistols. But yeah, let's compare the hand detailing. Did they just use the same hand? Honestly, it kind of looks very similar. Looks like they might have just taken the detailing away off that mold and maybe even use the same hand, because even on this Voyager figure here that's deluxe size, you still have hollowed out ass hands. I mean, that was understandable on this freaking deluxe that was a nice decent size, but literally you still have hollowed out hands on this. Oh my god, that's a little bit unacceptable at the Voyager price point for a deluxe size figure. You would think that they would go all the way and not have that. Another thing that kind of pisses me off about this, and then I'm also going to get my other comparison that's a direct comparison to the animation model here, this 3D printed Ironhide here, that was my stand-in for a long time on my shelf. But you can see, I mean, he's a little bit taller. I think that this size right here was a little bit just bigger than he needed to be, but all in all, I mean, look at that. People say, oh, this is super accurate to G1, which it is. It's better, it's more accurate in robot mode to G1 than the Earthrise version, and especially the Seige version, but I mean, comparing it directly to the 3D model here, you cannot get more accurate than this. This looks like it literally hopped right off the screen. And this right here, I mean, we still have a lot of panels all over. Honestly, this still feels like it could have been a deluxe, honestly. I mean, especially at the newer deluxe price points that are $25 plus tax. I mean, I really want to like this. I just think the price point for this is a little bit frustrating. I know a lot of people are defending it. I know a lot of people are like, oh, but the engineering, and he just fell over on me. But honestly, look at this. This is a free 3D print here from the Toymaker 3D that I 3D printed. I did change some of the proportions because I didn't like some of the proportions on it, so I edited a bunch of pieces on this to make it even better. But honestly, just look at that. Yes, it does get the chest detailing better than any mainline figure, and even better than the Masterpiece one got it. Right there with the detailing up front. But all in all, that I just hope the clear plastic ages well on him, because there is a lot, and it makes up a lot of different parts of the car. But enough of that. Let's get into articulation and compare that among these two. And then get them transformed up, and then show them in both modes. And also I'll have a lot of size comparisons as well. So you have deep ankle tilts on him. These ankles on here have somewhat deep ankle tilts too. They're not as, well, I guess you can get them like that. But these can go forward. They can do all kinds of crazy stuff that you would probably never do because it just looks weird on them. Also, just how they kind of separate like that way back there. It's a little weird, but hey, it is what it is. But what I really hate about this is this crotch flipping right here. I mean, really. The engineering of Seige got past a lot of this. Now, not this Seige figure in particularly, but Starscream, how he didn't have the flipping thing like that. But this, I mean, that honestly looks a little bit better right there. They could have molded in different parts there to make it have the accurate things. But also what's weird, that probably they did to save on parts count, even though this is a deluxe-sized Voyager. I can keep reiterating and reiterating that. It's just crazy that they didn't have those parts separate. Because there's a freaking line right there that's separate. And also something else right here. You can see these pegs are literally lined up in ways that would have locked in all three pieces to be separate. So then you would have just had to move the hip skirt up for each leg, instead of moving the big flap up anytime he wants to walk or kick or anything. He's like, look at my crotch! You can see my mushroom pegged on legs right there! Okay. So yeah, there's that. But honestly, the quality control on him seems pretty decent. You know, his joints seem pretty nice, honestly. I mean, that's kind of a first, that I don't have a loose joint that I have to put floor polish on right out of the box. I guess that's pretty nice, but I mean, it better be, if you're charging me for it. But that's probably just luck of the draw. So let's pop up here some size comparisons to both of these. I have Earthrise Ironhide Super Custom, Earthrise Optimus Prime Super Custom Painted here. That's how he's looking with him. And then I have the other deluxe-sized Voyager right here, Studio Series 86, Hot Rod, right there. And didn't he also get re-released in the Vectorcron line? He might have. I think he did, with some like less paint apps on him. And then we have Titan's Return Brawn here as well. That's what he's looking like with him, since he was also in that scene in the movie. Figured it'd be good to throw him in. And then I'll also throw in Studio Series Movie Bumblebee Soundwave, an actual Voyager. Look at that. Look at that. They call that a Voyager. It's just not a Voyager. They say the engineering, they say these things and those things, but they're just getting away with it. And I think really he was kind of the prototype for that. And I even kind of bought into that for a little bit of, oh, the engineering. But there's a lot of really crazily engineered deluxes these days, especially in the movie Studio Series line. But yeah, so that's enough of that. I don't really think there's any articulation missing from this deluxe figure onto this figure. Like, you don't have the posable hands that the Hot Rod did. He was a deluxe size Voyager. He at least had posable hands. Ironhide does not have posable hands. And you also still have this kind of strange, awkward hollowness on the back of the arms right here. There should have been a panel that flipped there. Like, those are the type of things you expect for a Voyager-sized deluxe figure. And this is going to cut me off. I'm going to have to piece the clips together, but I have a lot to say about this figure because a lot of people are hyped to get this. A lot of people are going to want this and they're going to get this, but oh man, they're just going to get away with it. Here he is in his stand, and you might end up with a little better of a stand than mine. Mine's creased in a few spots, and it kind of definitely ruins it. It also has this weird tape right here. I don't get what that was about. You can probably see it on the camera since I'm filming in 4K. But look at this. It's all creased up. That's a first, honestly, but that's probably because the regular box has gotten thinner, and without the plastic window and the strength in the box, it's just everything is weaker. But another problem that I realized is I kept trying to peg this down further in the hand, but this does not want to peg in. His gun there does not want to peg in on this hand. So that's a QC issue. Will it do it on the other hand? Let's see. Maybe it's both hands. Let's test it out here. Those pegs are freaking tight. That doesn't go in all the way on the hand, so be careful on that. You might cause stress marks if you have that same problem. I'm just getting tired of it. I'm getting tired of it. But at least the joints are tight, I guess. I guess I don't have floppy doppy have to rant and rage. So let's get into transformation of this guy. I think I can do it without instructions. So I know that these feet form in the back of the car already, since we don't have the crazy low effort ones that were just the Seige feet even on the Earthrise one. Now when I heard that we were going to get a Studio Series Ironhide before pictures came out or anything, I thought that they were just going to retool the Earthrise one maybe and make it a little bit better. But I am kind of glad they went through and did another mold here. But at the same time, why is that not flipping out there? Okay, that was a little bit risky with that clear plastic. That was clicked in there pretty well. But they did go through and do this another mold, so I guess that's nice. But like I said, I really just wish that this could have been a deluxe. It really, I mean, especially at the new deluxe prices. I mean, that should give you a little bit more wiggle room on it. But the Voyager figure, also something else that's pretty cool is they have that molded in detail of the Mech Alive type thing. Kind of like a low effort Mech Alive looking type thing right there. But it looks good nonetheless. And these arms look like they just peg right into each other right there. Yes, they do. Seems like a pretty straightforward transformation on this guy. And this chest part has to swivel all the way to the front side. So let's see, how do we do that? Nope. That's got to do something crazy that I'm probably going to have to figure out a different way. I don't want to force it. But this has to end up there. So how does that... Oh, look at that. What the... Okay, that's a little tight there to get past the wheels. Come on, click in up there, son of a gun. Alright. Yeah, but just the clear plastic on so much of these hinges and stuff, really when you live in a humid climate, I've done research, it is typically the humid climates, and I've actually noticed that if I've ordered a figure on eBay or something, and it's from like Florida or something like that, there's definitely more cracks in the clear plastic that I notice, especially like older figures. But even here, in the pretty much dry climate that I live in, my Earthrise Blue Streak, his top part cracked. So it's probably just, it's not an if it's going to happen, it's really a when it's going to happen. That's why whenever they use clear plastic for clear hinges all the time, I really just wish they would stop doing that. And I wish they would go the way of the buzzworthy line, how they did it before. I really just liked when they did that. So there's lots of hinges here. And I guess this is where people would call it, oh, it's Voyager, but look at this. I already see the paint on the window there is messed up. Now I get it. I get it. It's the main line. Things aren't going to be perfect, but... Oh my god. Alright, well let me get this cleaned up here. You can kind of see what's happening. I don't want to waste any more time here, but I'll have all the vehicle size comparisons and I'll talk more about this in a moment. Got him in vehicle mode with some size comparisons. So we have Seige transformed up. He actually had the gold stripe on him at the deluxe price point. Yes, granted, it is a very alien vehicle. You can see his arms clearly there. You can see the feet clearly hanging out the back. But over here, we do have this nice panel on the back, but a Voyager size deluxe right here does not have any painting on the back at all for taillights or for this back window at all. Yes, I'll be painting that, but literally when you're getting a small Voyager, they should do that, especially on that Velocitron Cybertron Override, right? Something like that. They really should have painted the feet gold on that. That's really one of the main reasons I didn't get that, because that's another deluxe sized Voyager figure and it's underpainted. But also right here, this panel does not like to click in well on mine up top here at all. And this right here, these two clear plastic hinges that you saw before, popping that in there is really aggressive on that clear plastic. I mean, I just can't harken in enough on that. I mean, let's see how this figure is doing in 10 years from now, or even 5 years or less from now, how that's aging. But one thing, it does roll really well. And you'll see I do actually have Earthrise shattered glass ratchet here. Actually forgot I had that. So this is the Earthrise type mold of the Seige version here that they did for Ironhide as well, just in red. So this is actually taller. The deluxe one is actually taller than the Seige one. You also see I have Optimus, Earthrise Optimus in the back, transformed also with his G1 trailer, and I'm going to show you something here in a second with that as well. Here is Netflix Bumblebee by him. I'm sure they'll do a Studio Series 86 Bumblebee. Will they redo this mold? It really wouldn't surprise me at this point. And watch them charge you. I mean, they're already charging a deluxe for a Legends class figure. But yeah, there's that. The front end looks a little weird because they have these like other headlights extending above those headlights, but that is better for robot mode, honestly, so I don't really mind too much. But no painted windshield wipers, so definitely a lot of custom paint work I'm going to have to do in both modes. And like I said, no stripe on the side as well. I mean, yeah, they're going to have toy hacks. Yeah, they're going to have all that. And another thing to note here is the plastic quality changes on this guy. So you can see that they've used a lower quality plastic on the back here. It's that chalky kind of plastic in the back here. And they also use that for some of the hinges. So it's not a consistent red throughout here. And of course, the paint matching is always... Don't know why they do that. And then I'm also going to just take some clippers to those that are clearly for Ratchet, which I will be getting Ratchet as well. So they got me on that. They got me with this one, okay? At least the rims are painted, okay? I'll give them that. The rims are painted. It's one less thing I have to custom paint. And then over here I had 3 printed wheels on him that I didn't paint. But yeah, I was going to paint this into Ratchet. But honestly, I'm just going to leave it how it is now as Shattered Glass Ratchet. And then I'll have the Studio Series 86 Ratchet. So yeah, I honestly like how this vehicle mode looks a little more. I honestly do. I'm not even kidding. I know it had the different feet in the back. I did 3D print lazy eyebrows feet things for that, but I never put them on there because I just never... I was going to repaint that into Ratchet. I'm glad I didn't do that. So yeah, that's what that's looking like. He just had these big clobbers hanging out the back before. So there you go. Enough babbling about that. Let's see if he fits in the G1 trailer. I do have the Earthrise trailer, but it's in a box right now, so I wasn't going to dig that out. But the G1 trailer, I doubt he would have fit in Earthrise trailer anyway. So let's pop that open. Oh, there's where my Power of the Primes Jazz went. I was looking for that. I'm glad I just found that on camera. Look at that. Nice. I'm also really pissed that my camera does not autofocus anymore, so every single time I focus in on something new, I have to tap it. So he does fit in there. And then I bet he'll fit all the way in there if I put him up, if I push this launcher back, I bet. Yep. Yes, he does. Look at that. He does fit in G1 Prime's trailer, so that's nice. Did I just unpop that? Yes, I did. I kind of wanted to see if he would launch out. Come on. Yes, he does. Nice. So, that's awesome. I'm definitely glad I have the G1 trailer for Prime. And also, like I said, if you never saw my Ultimate Prime comparison, you can use it with Earthrise. You just kind of rest it there. It stays on there relatively well, except for when I'm on camera sometimes. So there you go. There's that. So definitely an alright figure. You know, I'm not buying into the hype. He's alright. And I guess I'll show him next to Power of the Primes Jazz. This was a deluxe. This deluxe is longer than that. So look at that. I was honestly looking for this figure, but he was in Prime's trailer. So, hey. Glad I found it. There you go. So I'm actually going to do the custom paint in this video, not on camera, but I'm going to do it and then I'm going to show it to you and how much it improves it. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, boom. Here he is with the pegs cut off and some custom paint work done to him. And I gotta say, it definitely adds a little bit more of a pop to the figure having the gold stripe on the side. I thought about doing it in yellow, but I was like, you know what, I'll do the gold. The Seige one had the gold. It looks kind of cool in there. I also didn't paint the back window yet because I didn't want to rush and decide if I was going to do all blue windows on them or different color windows. So I just did the silver around that, and then I did the taillights. I put reverse lights and turn signals in the back. And then also the sides of this silver here were kind of faded and not very good, so I just went over the sides of that silver. I didn't paint the stripe on this side yet because I wanted to finish up this video. But yeah, you can see what it looks like on there. So there he is. Let's get him into robot mode again, and then I will show you him in that mode with some custom paint and just how some simple things like that can improve him. And then also soon I have my, do you see how like freaking crazy tight that was to just pop this guy apart? So yeah, I will have a tutorial on how I do custom paint work relatively soon, and I think that would be a really important video for a lot of collectors, because they tend to not just paint taillights or just do simple things nowadays on the vast majority of figures. So I think that'll be a video that'll help a lot of collectors out and people who love Transformers. Come on, this hinge just, oh my god. Oh wait, no, I'm dumb. I gotta flip that. There we go. There we go. Yeah, so he is honestly pretty simple once you just get the hang of all these hinges, honestly. And then all these hinges pop in there, Billy. And then we flip these feet all in on themselves. And that's another reason I didn't really paint the windows right now, because to have them dry and to have him trying to do the video when he's going to be standing on them is another thing. But I know Toy Hacks is just salivating, just waiting, like, is there another set for this? I know Toy Hacks is going to do a set, and I know it's probably going to be pretty good, but at the same time, I don't want to spend a bunch of money on stickers all the time for every figure. So there you go. There he's back in robot mode. So you can see it's not like an ultra complex transformation. There's just more hinges than normal, I guess. So let's get this custom paint, and then we'll show that. I know this is a long video. If you're still here, type G1 Ironhide in the comments. Here he is back in robot mode here, and I've covered up the red, or no, I've covered up the blue that was there, and I've now blended it in with red. And also the top here. The top there was what bothered me the most. I still have the sides to do, but I just wanted to kind of leave that there to iterate. Like this right up there could all be solved by just doing what this figure right here did. This part right here is blue plastic, and all they would have to do is just paint the sides of it, the windows of it, and then the whole piece would be the red that it's supposed to be. You know, it's just I don't get it. It almost seems like planned obsolescence, honestly. That's kind of what it seems like, is all the clear plastic and all different kinds of hinges on figures is like planned obsolescence, honestly. I mean, not to get all crazy, but it's really what it seems like. And it seems like they just always stray away from giving the most definitive edition of Ironhide. Like, this is very good. This is probably the best that you've got in the main line, but it is at a Voyager price point. It is a little bit smaller than the deluxe one in Siege. And it's really not like it's gained a bunch of articulation or anything crazy like that. So, is this worth your money? I mean, a lot of people missed out on Earthrise. A lot of people did. And this figure right here is a great Ironhide. I have to still say it's a great Ironhide. I'm not even going to hate on it. I'm just not happy with the price point of it. I'm not happy with the paint applications it came in with at that price point. And its accessories are just these two pistols at that price point. So, there you go. Tell me what you think of this figure in the comments. I know this was a long video, but if you want to figure out how to do custom paint work like this, I will have a tutorial really soon. I filmed it a while back, but it is going to upload. It's still going to apply to all kinds of figures, and it will help you improve your figures. And also another thing to note is this head sculpt doesn't look as awkward as I thought it was. I thought it was going to look kind of weird. From a lot of the pictures, it looked kind of weirdly wide, and it just looked off. But it's honestly not as bad here in person. And like I said, here is the freaking animation model in 3D form here, pretty much. I mean, this is literally as close as you can get. Literally as close as you can get here. So, the hip skirts should have been split into 3 parts. It should have had more paint apps, and then I guess I'd be fine with it at this price point. But there you go. That's my thoughts of this. Done babbling. If you're new watching the videos, decide if you want to subscribe. If you're already subscribed, thank you very much. Have a great one. Peace. Bye-bye.
I think I know what's gonna happen here. You don't even know the half of it.
Also, earlier in the video, I did not have that lined up on there properly. It is lined up on there properly now, and yes, it does stay on there very well. It was just in the wrong spot earlier. That's why I rolled off.